What's up, guys? Alrighty. So, I'm not sure where Steve is, and Memphis may or may not be on. Memphis is not feeling super well, so we're gonna hold off on doing the episode for Memphis until next week. This was kind of spontaneous, just in the last hour or so. So I apologize for anyone that was super excited about that. I obviously was, but we're gonna have to do that. Memphis isn't feeling super well, but I figured I would go back to the beginning and do a fusion basics class again. We're gonna start over from the beginning. So let me hold on just one moment.
On the show?
I am.
Oh, shit. I'm so sorry.
That's right. You can bring your cute ass in here and give me smooches. I love you.
Love you. Bye.
Bye, baby. Okay.
See you guys later.
All right. You guys can all hear me okay, I presume? You guys would have probably said something if you didn't. Good deal. I don't have anybody else on with me, so I'm like, this is weird. Okay. Let's do something here. Hey, Aunt. I'm gonna will you laser me a piece of chipboard that I can check in just a little bit here? I'm gonna
take it off out of here.
Oh, okay, you're out of here?
I can do it real quick.
I'll take care of it. I'll take care of it. Save this real quick so that it's done. Let's say PM 2019 note test. All right. I'll show you guys what I'm working on here. Let's go, and then I'll give you just a little rundown on what I'm doing. I'll show you the rendering and stuff. Share screen, share entire screen. Okay. All right. So what we have here is this fusion file that I'm working on, and I am. Let's see here. So what we have is this all acrylic enclosure for 3 JL Audio 10W7s. I've been working on this most of the day, and what you see over here is this little billet block. And this is a new thing that we have coming very soon. We've done it a little bit. Some of you guys may have seen them in my truck. We've only used them in a few applications, but this is a new kind of ace in the hole product that I've had on deck for some time that we're going to be implementing in some projects. So what I'm working on here is I'm going to create a little bracket that fastens the enclosure to the seat lift assembly. Obviously, I just was getting started on that. So, but yeah, here, let's take a look at the rendering of this thing real quick. Let's see. Switch here to render, and then we're in the render window. And this is going to take a little while because we got a bunch of lights in there and stuff. Let me actually go in here, red, edit. I'm going in here and I'm going to edit how bright the LEDs are. So right here you see this luminance, and just a little bit off the bottom is real bright. And I did a rendering of this a little bit earlier, and once it gets started, I don't want to stop it because it's like the computer's working its ass off, and I got a couple cool images, but I'm going to make it a little cleaner now. All right, let's take a look here. Boom. So I set it to render, and I got a pretty super duper computer here, but it'll probably take 3 to 5 minutes to get a really good idea of what this will really look like real world. Maybe I should change the environment that I have this thing in, but it's starting to give you guys an idea. We're only like 30 seconds in. So yeah, In the meantime, while that's happening, I'll show you guys some really cool stuff here. I have this Morel, what is it? Elate Carbon Pro 93A. This is the 9-inch three-way set. And this enclosure that I'm working on there is going to pair with this three-way set in this customer's truck that we're working on. And it's coming together really nicely. I made got a really good bit of progress on the custom door pods to put this 9-inch mid bass. There's a little size reference next to my fat ass head. So, and these are a really beautiful speaker, carbon cone, high end mid bass driver here. We have shitloads of sound deadening in the doors of that truck, and the door pods we're making are really solid. And then we have the 3-inch that goes with that. Pretty sexy little guy. It looks like a sub, doesn't it? Pretty bitchin'. This is an incredibly expensive set. I guess it's like $3,600 retail. I know there's things that are significantly more expensive than that, but like, I can't afford this shit, man. This shit's out of my price range, brother. And these tweeters are really sexy. This was a big selling point for the customer. He was really stuck on making sure that he had the Elate Carbon Pro, because this tweeter is the difference between the Elate Carbon and the Elate Carbon Pro. And I don't have the Elate Carbon here. We had to send those ones back because I can't afford to keep anything like this in stock here at the shop. But very nice speakers. We're really excited to hear how this works. He'll be powering this set with a Zapco 6-channel amplifier, and he has a Zapco DSP that he'll be using. And myself and Tyson, and obviously some input from Colt in how they get tuned, will be happening. It should be a lot of fun. So, all right. So we're about 3 minutes in, and you guys get a pretty good idea of the rendering. You can kind of tell that even though I'm sharing the screen, it's not quite perfect, but you get a pretty good idea of what that enclosure is going to look like real world. It's going to be really beautiful. This one is built, I'm going to use 1-inch acrylic on the top, back, and bottom panels. The side components will be 2-inch thick acrylic, and the whole face baffle assembly will be 1.5 inch thick acrylic on this one. I didn't want to put any bracing inside, simply because if there's more parts, there's more opportunity for there to be bubbles in my bonds, and we don't want that shit at all. No bubbles in the bonds. So anyway, yeah. Yes. All right. Well, good deal. All right. So I'm going to, let's get out of this rendering. I'm like trying to look at this screen when I should be looking at this screen to do my design stuff. Let's head back into my design panel, and here we are. Okay. So you can see what I do here. Let's with these is this if you could see the names, you could see that this one is named bottom resin. So that represents my resin pour that I'll put on the bottom of the enclosure. And these cutouts, instead of doing a full cutout, I usually use like a V-groove cutter, and I just cut the line. But it'd be really challenging to create 100% of that, and you can get a really good visual representation just based on that. What you see in here represent the LEDs. That'll be a channel that we carve into the bottom panel of the acrylic, and we'll tuck our RGB IC color changing, chasing, tracing LED lights into that. So we'll be able to light that thing up and make it do whatever the hell we want it to do. Oh, that's not what we want. I make this piece here. It's like a big grate that I use to create that pattern. A lot of times trying to create things just in a file, you're better to make bodies. For some reason, the software notices the bodies better than it does a DXF file or even just a sketch. So, okay. Shoot better. Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and go to the basics, right? Any of you guys here to learn some basics? Oh, let me see here. Am I trying to focus my customer base on wealthy base? It seems that would be a very small group. What I'm trying to do is create my own customer base of you don't have to be wealthy. I mean, many of the people on this list are broke as fuck, and they're my customers. but I'm trying to create my own customer base of really awesome customers, like my buddy Eugene over here, who's over here working on helping me build subwoofers and being awesome because he wants to get his build worked on. And instead of bitching at me or being a butthead, he comes over here and he's awesome and he helps me work on things. So yeah, it's like I am working to create and find awesome customers. That's what I'm focusing on. So I'm not searching for wealthy people. I'm searching for awesome customers. You know, Byron Soulgasm is one of my greatest customers ever, and he's one of my best friends in the world, and he's my homie that stays in my house and hangs out with me and does, you know, trips with us that have jack shit to do with car audio, and you know, we found him just by building car audio, and he, you know, he presented himself, and I was like, this dude's cool. He can come hang out. And many other people, right? You know, Dave Smith, he's definitely not a wealthy dude, but he's got a bunch of car audio, and he's bought a bunch of stuff from us, and he's been awesome to work with. I think on New Year's Eve one day, he pulled up, and it was like getting dark outside, and the parties were happening, and he was buying a sub box. I gave him a killer deal on it. So, and we do have many, well, not many, but we have a reasonable amount of products that are geared towards the less financially capable customer base. Like our Shield series woofers are competitive with any less expensive subwoofer product on the market, you know? So, but what happens is if you do really good work and you finish and you do pretty much everything you say you're going to do, you'll find that some people that are pretty wealthy that know that they can count on you to get shit done will approach you and not be afraid to spend, you know, shit, tens of thousands of dollars on their audio system because they know the magic is going to happen, you know? So, yeah. Well, thank you so much, Jason. I appreciate it, man. And hell yeah. Neo 18s, man, they're awesome. We're going to be building a whole bunch of them starting. Well, we're going to start with some 15s tomorrow. We have 3 15s to do tomorrow morning, and then we'll pivot on to some 18s. We'll see how many we can get done of those. We have 11 of the 18s that we need to get done. Hopefully be done with all of them by the end of the weekend, along with that acrylic box and a few other things, because the Gately show's coming and all these shits are supposed to be there. So, but yeah, anyway. Well, depending on, so are we talking about like the Relentless 15s similar to what I built for Steve Mead? Yes, in that the enclosure size is about the same. I put together the soft parts to have them function in about 4 cubic feet, 3.5 to 4.25 cubic feet per 15. The only obstacle is that because the Gately baskets, the baskets that I engineered are a little extra stout. The cutout diameter is the same, but the mounting the mounting flange is a little larger. So on some of the enclosures that we are swapping to the new subs with the new baskets, we've had to fight the good fight and open the holes up a little bigger where the actual flange of the mounting surface is to fit that. So yes, performance-wise, you're good to go with the new Relentless woofers that will be available soon. I did order a big stack of motors, and they are all already accounted for. But we're going to get a whole bunch more coming. Like, it's kind of like as soon as these, motors land, then I'm going to order a whole bunch more right away. But I like to, as we kind of get it going, and I also don't want to bombard them with order, because the guys at FI are building these motors for us. I don't know if you guys knew that or not, but obviously they make a killer motor, and they hand build those suckers right there and zap the shit out of those magnets and make them strong and awesome, and an incredible bit of knowledge that those guys have shared with me, and I've shared with them, and we make a pretty bitchin' partnership with those guys down there. John and Johnny are great business owners and people to do business with. So, and Brett Baldwin down there running the show at FI has been amazing. So yeah. All right, let's see what else we got here before I move on. Any other questions? Yes. Boner for Santos. Excellent. Keep that thing going. All right, good deal. Okay, so let's go back to like the beginning. We're gonna do a super basics tutorial to just get people kind of going a little bit, right? We'll build. What else should I build other than a sub box, guys? Anybody got an idea? What do you want me to make? What do we got? Should I do? I know what I should do. I will build a I don't know if you guys saw the video of the triple joint ring alignment jig that I made for building Steve Mead's Relentless version 215s. So let's take a look here and see if I can hold, please, gentlemen. Is that everything? That's the whole damn thing? Okay, well, so what I have here, I'll tell you what this is when I'm working on a subwoofer, let me grab a coin. Jesus. Oh, changing colors and shit. Okay, whatever. That works. Hold, please. Oh, dear. There we go. Be right back. Okay, kids. So more than just fusion. Here's a little bit of like why I do some of the things that I do. Okay, so this is a Relentless Neo 4 motor assembly. This is the third one that my man Eugene has built for me. That's why it's got a little number 3 on it right here. And so, fuck the coil go. Oh. Am I boring anybody? You guys good with me? How we doing? All right. So what I have here is I have a voice coil. This is a dual 0.7 coil, 8-layer monster, good for 4,000, 5,000 watts, 4,500 watts is a good number to call it. Okay, so when you're building a subwoofer, it's super important that you get the center line of this coil, right? Let's see if we can. This center line here of this coil needs to be centered, and this is a Neo, so it's not on the top plate, and you can see the top plate of this is aluminum. It needs to be centered on the neodymium magnet array on the inside here. So if you can kind of, this thing weighs 55 pounds, so this is a mother, but see here where the Neos are, that 40 millimeters there, this coil needs to sit centered right on that. So what I've done is I simply designed a nice little piece that I drop in there, and then that guy sits exactly where it goes. This makes my life super easy. And then we have our triple joint rings that we apply onto the coils. And this needs to line up directly with the spider pack and where the spider landing of the basket. So I've created, this one actually is for a different version of the woofer, but I've created this simple spacer that goes on here, which you may or may not have seen. Got here? Have a great day. Hi, Brad. And I just simply hold this guy on here and glue it, and then I can move forward with the rest of the build. And I have watched many sub builders build subs and not create things like this, and it blows my mind. So anyway, so a couple of simple things that make the process really perfect. Oh, I should have done that a long fucking time ago, huh? Here, let me do this. Sorry, there, way better. Yep, I wish I would have thought of that a long time ago. Here, I'll take you through it again a little bit here. This. Hi, everybody. Do I look like I'm flying? I'm like, ah! Okay, so the jig, I hold this guy like this. Nice bead of CA glue, a little bit of activator. I try to make that bead look really nice and clean, like a weld. I make sure, so a lot of the CA glue, especially the stuff that you buy, and I like to get the stuff from Lord of Base. I don't get any deals on any of that shit from that guy. They're kind of a pain in the ass company, but they provide the product, and that's what's important. Another thing that's kind of important for building subwoofers is to make sure you have a handy bottle of whiskey around. No, I'm just kidding you. Don't buy me bottles of whiskey. I have an inappropriate amount of whiskey, then I don't drink that much whiskey, but I am probably going to drink some whiskey tonight. Just saying.
Never mind what I said.
Just a little bit, but don't buy me whiskey. Don't buy any goddamn whiskey. What did Byron say? Yes, I made the thing bigger. So you can see I put this ring in here. It's just a simple 3D printed piece that fits and just drops right in. And my coil drops right in and sits exactly where it belongs. And then I could bring my spider pack in and glue that to the triple joint ring that is sitting exactly where it is already belongs. And then I could put the cone assembly on another triple joint ring, and solder it, glue the shit out of it, build the rest of the stuff. And then I pull that whole top assembly out. I set that aside briefly. I pull my, are you leaving? Where's my Dave Duarte 90 amp hour battery?
Actually have the case so I can do the enclosure tomorrow.
Excellent.
When does he want to come in?
As soon as the battery's done.
Okay.
I still have to build the subs though. So, but I'll probably build them this weekend or maybe tomorrow if I'm lucky.
So when are you bringing them in? Because
As soon as I have a battery and
I'm
subs.
trying to get these two that I just did the 90 longs.
Yeah.
I just did finish on them, so now
Cool. We'll get
bring them
those
tomorrow.
in eruption.
Tomorrow.
Excellent.
For
Warpath Brad.
is he on there?
I am on there. No, Duarte is not on here, but he's somewhere. He might be. He watches sometimes.
Tell him hi. Okay, bye.
Mikey Martin. We got Mikey Martin. This is the model for us for Saturday, Mikey. Hey guys, Mikey Martin has a brand new baby named Maverick that was born just a couple days ago. Super duper cute. So congratulations, Mikey. You're the man. Mikey, why don't you make your way out to your computer and get your fusion going, and we're going to design something. I'm going to get this big ass subwoofer out of my face. Oh, I didn't put the ring in there. Coil dropped all the way. I just work here. All right. So yeah, Jason. I mean, and it's not an assembly line. These things are handcrafted, custom shit, every single one of them. Thank you, Eddie.
The other one out there.
It should be in it. Yeah. Usually it's in the little cup holder. I recommend backing the seat up before you climb in. You fucking injure yourself. So, if you're ever gonna get behind a wheel of a car that I normally operate, always find the seat adjustments and back that shit up first, because Eddie is like 6'5" and I'm 5'4". That makes him 13 inches taller than me. And if he goes to climb in and he'll fucking hurt himself. So I'm like, find the seat adjustments, because Eddie's going to take my van and drive up to Oregon tomorrow and pick up a camper shell that needs to go on a truck that we need to build. So yes, Byron is well aware. Byron has driven many a vehicle that I have operated and knows the drill. Like, you will like jam your knee into the dash and like, oh, what am I doing to myself? And like, sorry, bro, I'm really short. I have stubby little legs. So anyway, okay. All right, let's get fusioning. Screen. All right, back to this. So okay, that's not the one. Oop. Well, Damn it! I don't have a 3-inch coil NSA motor here, do I? I need to design all the parts to build the 10s. So one of the things I'll be doing very soon is 10s. I'm pretty sure it's not over there. Yeah, it's not. It's gone. All right, let me see here.
Where would it be? Next door, hanging up on a 9-year or something?
The key to the van?
Yeah.
It's not in there?
No, that's what I'm asking. They even called Alex, didn't want to bug you. You know?
Sorry. Okay. Love you. Bye. He's like looking for keys, and I'm over here. I got him right next to me. What a dick. It's fucked up shit. Okay. Well, please. Oh, here. This one. What's the dealio here? All right, some of those parts are top secret, kids. Okay, so goddamn. Here, that. Okay. Appreciate you guys being so patient while I get my shit together. All right, so I'm going to be getting ready to build some of these 15s, and just so happens that I don't have the this tool set up yet for the 15s with the Relentless Neo 4 motor. So I'm going to design that component right now. reading through everybody real quick here. I don't want to miss anything. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's get back to this jig component that I need. Okay. So what I need is to make it so that I can put one of those little triple joint rings on that coil accurately, right in line with this spider landing level. Okay, so we're going to start with a drawing right here, right on the top of this coil. Okay. So I'm drawing these lines here, and I'll show you how I'm going to work with them in just a moment. Making sure that they're vertical using these constraints here. It appears they already were, and they are parallel with one another. And now I'm going to use this tangent. See if you see up here, see how it says tangent? I'm going to grab this guy, and I'm going to make a tangent to this edge right here. And then I'm going to grab the sketch dimension up here. And then I'm gonna set this guy at let's make this 0.3 inches. These aren't critical dimensions. I'm just trying to make sure that I miss my coil leads when I make this jig, right? And this one I made a little too floppy. I mean, it works just fine, but I want this next one to be a little more stout because I don't want it to be floppy. So it'll be easier to hold on to things, right? Let's make this a little more complex. I'm going to create a construction line that is vertical, and then I'm going to mirror these two lines over. And select my mirror line right here. Boom. Okay. So now I've designed let's do that. So I can design around. Oh, I got a little bit of work to do here. I can design around the parts that I'm looking at. It usually doesn't distract me, but a lot of times you guys to know what you're looking at, you'll want to hide your bodies. Okay. So to make what I want here, I got to extend. I'm going to do the same with this one. And down here, I should have done this in the first place, but I missed that. So now I'm kind of going back, and I got to do the same thing over here on this side. And because I've disrupted that, I have to go back and put some constraints on this. Okay. So I'm going to grab this tangent, put that tangent to there. And I'm going to go ahead and put this same dimensional constraint there. I don't know why that doesn't want to. Let's try this. There we go. All right. So now I'm done with my sketch, and I'll show you what I'm going to create here. So I have So I'm grabbing all of these points, and I'm going to make this 8 millimeters thick. That's 8 inches. So let's add millimeters. There you go. Okay. Then we're gonna turn that sketch back on. You know what? I have to adjust it again. Let's go back here and edit this sketch. I need one more thing here. So I'm going to set this to a 32nd of an inch larger than the coil's diameter, so that I have a little bit of space to wiggle that thing around a little bit. Okay. So let's make sure that my part still looks good. Okay, good. And here. Okay. All right, so I started out like, we know that we need this to be a certain length, right? But we don't know exactly what that length is. Okay, this is kind of a cool trick, okay? So I went ahead and grabbed it and started moving it. And what that gives me the ability to do is come right over here to this flat plane, and I click this, and it's going to make this the exact length I need that to be. See what I mean, gentlemen and ladies? All right. So now we're going to say join. I'm going to go ahead and turn that sketch off, and then I'm going to clean up that tool a little bit, my little jig here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn those guys back off. And I'm going to take this hard, sharp edge off of here. I'll put a little radius here, 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 and here. You know what? I'm going to put it there and there, there. So I'm grabbing all these edges, and I'm going to put a little 0.1 radius on that. That's a little too big, 0.0625. That's nice and clean. And let's go ahead and get a little bit more of that radius stuff going, just because you guys will learn a little something from it. How's that? And that looks really strong. This one will be a little more stout than this other one that I made. This one's a little weak, but it's really not a big deal that this is kind of weak, but I don't know. I'm making a cool thing. I might as well make it kind of stout. And there we are. And I'm going to go ahead and name this thing, and this is Lent. Neo 415 triple joint ring jig. Sometimes you really need to put the whole last name in things so that you know what it is you're looking at, especially when you have thousands of mesh files. So what I'm going to do now, because I'm going to send this over and get it printing, because I'm going to need it tomorrow, because I'm going to build those subwoofers for my man Eddie. What the hell are you talking about, Justin? This software is called Fusion. Yep. Made by Autodesk, and it's called Fusion. And if you go back in the last like 8 to 10 weeks, I've done a couple of demonstration classes here working with some of the software. If you go back to the first one, you can get a really good basics design set. But this is a really good like sprinkle back to the basics kind of thing again. And if you have a 3D printer, which we have 3 of the bamboo printers, and we ordered the new big one, we're really excited to get it. Making little things like this is awesome. And many other things like so this is like God, it's hard to see because it's white, but this is part of like an A pillar. So you guys would be looking at it kind of like that. So the tweeter and the 3-inch will go here. I know it's kind of on the screen. It looks a little it's kind of freaky looking on the screen there, gentlemen. But yeah. Anyway, but I designed this earlier. It was kind of a pain in the ass to do this design. Maybe we'll do something in 2 or 3 weeks. We'll do another thing, and I'll design something something for an A-pillar component, which is one of the more challenging components that we design regularly here. It's usually me, and I'm usually fighting it a lot. So, okay. All right. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to export this as a mesh. So this will help some of you guys, right? Like, let's say hypothetically, you guys get Fusion and you design something and you don't have a 3D printer, but you know somebody that does. Maybe that somebody is me, right? We have 3 printers and they're usually running. But if somebody is like, hey, man, I designed this thing. Can you fucking print it for me and send it to me? I'm totally down to do that. Probably won't even charge you any fucking money because it's easy, right? The printers are once the shit is good. And I'll even help you with your design a little bit. If you guys are all watching me and you're supporting what we do over here, I will print some shit for you and I will review your design. If you were like, dude, I'm working on building this, a half a dozen subs. I got motors, I got all the parts, and I designed my little jig pieces. Can you print them for me? I'll fucking print them for you. I'm not going to charge you a nickel. It'll be easy peasy. I'll double check your design. You can send me over the file. Maybe we can bring it up on the screen on the show together to show the rest of you guys what we're working on and why. And I can go over what we need to do to make the parts just right. And I'm sure I'll learn something new. I always do. And then yeah, we can just get that print, or you go, dude, my buddy has a printer, and I go, cool, here's the file, and this is how you get it to your buddy. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna export a mesh part, right? So I let's go back here, and I go over here to the name of my part. You see my little part lights up, and it is the Relentless Neo 4 triple joint ring jig. Okay, I right click on it, and I'm gonna say save as a mesh. And I'm going to do it as an STL because it's just a little easier. You could do it as an OBJ or a 3MF. It's going to be a bigger file and it's going to be a little more precise. But with something like this, it doesn't fucking matter. It can have a little tiny bit of flat spots on it a little bit. It can be, tessellated a little bit, I guess you'd call it. Okay, so I'm going to say okay. And it's going to ask me what I want to name it. And it's got the correct name, but I don't want to put it under Laser DXF. I want to put it under Mesh. And so we have a big ass Z drive that's connected to a couple of the computers here. And I'm going to go into Mesh, and I'm going to go to Gately Relentless Neo Relentless Design. And we're going to say Relentless Neo for 15-inch TJRJ. There you go. Boom. And I'm going to save it. And then that's where that file is. Now, I don't have that computer set up to run the computer that's set up to run the Bamboos is the one over here behind me that Gavin's usually at, because he usually runs the printers, but I can jump on there. But it's pretty straightforward with Bamboo software. I can talk you through getting that stuff set up pretty easily. So you get in there, you say import, you tell you tell which face you want this thing to sit on the print plate, and and I'll probably put it to where the part's facing like this so that it doesn't have to have any supports. And then a 3D printer is like a little machine that kind of just shits out melted plastic, right? And so it just sits there kind of taking a dump in a pattern that creates the parts. This will probably take between 3 and 5 hours to run this part. But if I set it up before I leave, it's just magically here tomorrow morning when I'm done, and I'm ready to go when I get to the part of the day when I'm building subwoofers for my man Eddie. So there you have it. Anybody have any questions about the design or anything else you guys want to talk about today? I'm happy to answer some questions before we call it a night. And yeah. All right. Go ahead and stop sharing that. I'll save that. And yeah, folks, that's what's up. We are insanely busy. And the reason why we are insanely busy, if you guys don't already know, is the Gately Audio Show. And if you don't know much about it, Oh no, fusion is not specific to bamboo. There is many software that you can design in and import into bamboo, and some of it's free. But we also can, I don't know. Fusion is very powerful, and I really love using it. So it's daunting, Jeremiah. You can start getting into some really wild stuff that gets really complicated with surface and mesh and things of that nature. But the more you learn, the more you know you don't know. But like I would say that I'm a fusion expert as far as most car audio application is concerned, but there is definitely levels to it that I'm not on. But I'm pretty good at teaching what I do know in there, pretty reasonably. And obviously, if you guys listen to me regularly, you understand how I talk, and so it makes it easier for you to learn from me, right? Picking up what I'm putting down. So, would Fusion support something like what? Deck boxes hold out plastic so a deck slides right in with RCA slots and wire holes in the back. No, you can absolutely do that. You can make motion assemblies that are powered with limitation. You can figure out how heavy things are. You can simulate strength. We had to so we made a deal with Not Standard Audio, and they prepaid for a large number of our baskets when we were engineering them. I had already done all the engineering on them, but I couldn't afford all the tooling. It was just too much money. It was $30 some odd thousand to tool the 18 basket, and like $20 some odd thousand to do the 15. The 12 we had already done, and that was like $17,000. And we wanted to do the 10, the 15, and 18. I just couldn't afford all of it. The NSA guys, I showed them, they were talking about getting baskets tooled themselves. And I was like, hey, you guys are my boys, and it wouldn't break my heart if you guys used my baskets. And we worked out a deal, but they wanted to see that my 15 and 18-inch basket could handle the weight of their Sergeant Major 5-inch coil. John, how much does that motor weigh? It's like 121 pounds or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. It's a freaking beast. It is a badass motor. That thing is awesome. I have been studying that motor because I designed a bunch of soft part stuff, because John and I are 131 pounds. 131 pounds. Loading those is going to suck. Me and John are going to have to do it at some point. Me and John are going to build 4 of these monsters this coming weekend for his build. And I think, I don't know if he still calls it the NRD van, but Nerd Van is what I really love calling it. But we're going to build these monsters for that. And so I had to design the motor, and we're testing Gauss field readings. This thing's got a super high power field, and it's beautiful, and everything I'm measuring about the field looks really gorgeous. So I'm really excited to work with the NSA motors. But we had to show them that you can mount those motors on our 15 and 18-inch baskets, and that our baskets are strong enough to hold those in a conventional style, like flat wall mount, like what we're going to do in John's van. And we're not worried about going over a speed bump at a reasonable speed and having the motors rip the freaking baskets apart, because our baskets are monsters. So it was really cool. So yep. Did you load those, Justin? I bet you did. Justin's a big, tall, strong dude. He looks like just like a skinny, goobery dude, and then he walks up and he's like kind of tall and he's all ripped and kind of crazy and shit. I'll tell you. So here's a piece of information. A a regular TI 18-inch basket weighs 4.9 pounds. Is it 4.9 or 6.9? 4.9 pounds. 4.9 pounds. And the Gately 18 basket weighs 20 pounds. It's literally 4 times as heavy. It's a monster, and it's heavy and it's stout and it's thick and yeah. The only issues that we've had is with vehicles that we had TI baskets in, and like the inner cutout is the same. It'll drop right in, but like I said, the flange is much thicker and a bit wider because it needs to be really fucking strong. So, yeah. Oh, shit. Fucking bulging disc. That doesn't sound fun at all. I'm sure driving around all day in your vehicle doesn't help that shit one bit. This dude's like chooching around in a vehicle all day long. Fuck. Okay. So anyway, yeah, that's the deal. That's the story on the baskets, and NSA was a big help in us, finalizing the tooling on the 18 and the 15. And we went ahead and did the 10. We don't even produce a 10 yet. I hand built one really badass 10. I used a 3-inch coil NSA private motor, which is a fucking beast, a badass 3-inch coil motor. So our friend Ken Brown did all the engineering for NSA's motors, the corporal, the private, and the sergeant major, and they are badass motors. They're beautiful. We've done a bunch of testing and studying them, and looking at how to create appropriate soft parts using all the materials that I have. And we're going to make some Gately Audio 10-inch subs using that NSA motor because I have access to them because they're right across the way and they're badass motors. If they were shitty motors, I wouldn't use them, but they are fucking awesome. So, yeah. But yeah, anyway, that's what's up, kids. I am going to get this place cleaned up a little bit, and I'm going to pack up and get home at a more reasonable time. I get up at 4:30 in the morning every day, and I get my ass in here, work my tail off. We're getting ready for the Gately show. That's what I was starting to talk about. If you are attending and you are competing, you should go to gatelyaudio.com and you should get pre-registered. My wife will love seeing that you pre-registered, and you'll get bonus points. That's how that works. I don't know what the bonus points add up to get. Maybe a hug and a high five, but that's pretty cool. So I like hugs and high fives. Kind of into that shit. So, yeah, that's what's going on. How you doing, Eugene? How many you got left?
On the last one?
You're on the last one of the last one, or there's one more left, huh?
Oh, this is the last one of the last
The last one of the last ones, man. Eugene's the man. He saved the day. So, all right, kids. You guys, I've been saying this for a few weeks. Be mean to people that deserve it, and be nice to people in general. And fix your fucking engine noise. I know some of you guys got it. I know that we fight it here all the time. And that's what's going on. I'll look forward to seeing you guys next week. We'll plan tentatively to have obviously Steve and Memphis on with us again, and I want to hear Memphis tell his story. Memphis is a fucking big badass, brilliant man, and when I say badass, I mean like for real, like super duper duper badass. And I want to learn more about my friend, and hope he's feeling a little better. And I will look forward to seeing you guys next week. You guys be good. Go work on your shit. Get some shit done. Be awesome. Be proud of yourself. All those things. Have a good night.